afternoon, everyone. My name is Gurjant Randhawa. I am the president and CEO of Cipher Neutron. Uh, Cipher Neutron is a Canadian clean tech company focused on the development of AEM electrolysers. We are the first North American company to commercialize large-scale industrial-level AEM electrolysers, and we are one of the first ones to commercialize AEM electrolysers. We are also world's first company to have a patent-pending reversible fuel cell coupled with graphene, so a system that behaves as an electrolyzer and also as a fuel cell. Today's topic is focused on AEM electrolysis and hydrogen production and scaling up AEM electrolyzers. I will focus on the AEM electrolyzers produced by Cipher Neutron. So this is a tech session, so we all understand here where hydrogen is used. But again, just to kind of recap, Cipher Neutrons, more than 90% of our customers are using hydrogen as a process gas and as a feedstock, meaning ammonia manufacturing for fertilizer use, oil and gas industry, steel manufacturing, mining industry is one of our big clients where we are selling AEM electrolyzers. Mobility is also on our radar, but again, of course, as we all understand, that market is still growing, and and we're ready for that whenever it comes. But right now, the focus is using hydrogen as a process gas in all these industries mentioned earlier. So I think from a tech perspective, this is one of the most important slide to discuss why we need AEM electrolyzers and what's wrong with alkaline, or what are the flaws of alkaline and PEM systems. Again, I just want to be clear. I always support that every single technology has to be there to justify the green hydrogen industry or the green hydrogen market. Call it alkaline, AEM, PEMs, SOECs, and other hydrogen technologies out there. But again, of course, we're going to talk about that, why we need AEM and why AEM offers the most sustainable and affordable hydrogen production commercially available right now in the market. So first of all, alkaline, is the oldest technology, we all understand. There are issues with alkalines, and first of all, efficiency of alkaline electrolyzers. They are not highly efficient systems, and the BOP, or the balance of plant cost of alkaline, is pretty huge, pretty big. The purity of hydrogen is not what we need, so we have to process hydrogen. The other thing is they are low pressure system. At least, or more than 90% of the electrolyzers available in the market, they are low pressure systems. 10, 15 bars is the limit for most of the electrolyzer companies out there. Of course, they have issues when we talk about intermittent energy. They do not work very well with hydrogen, the solar panels or wind energy. Of course, there are companies now launching new ideas or products that are better than the existing product. And as a background, by the way, I did 10 years of research and development in alkaline electrolyzers before moving into AEM systems. So intermittent energy is a big challenge in alkaline electrolyzers. Of course, they're highly corrosive systems. 30% potassium hydroxide is kind of the standard, or everyone uses 30% potassium hydroxide. So now moving on to the second technology, which is now taking over alkaline electrolyzers, is PEM electrolyzers. PEM electrolyzers, of course, they're compact system, highly efficient system, but they have their own issues, actually bigger issues or bigger sustainable issues. Almost every single PEM electrolyzer in the market uses PFAS materials. PFAS, or fluorine-based chemicals, they are also called forever chemicals because they do not go away from the environment for thousands of years. PFAS, they're causing cancer, kidney failure, birth defects, and many other health-related issues. Germany already banned certain PFAS materials in 2021. US, last year, EPA did a study and found out that more than 45% of tap water is already contaminated with PFAS. So all the governments across the globe are coming up with bans towards PFAS, and all the companies, or most of the companies we know in PEMS, they are going back to the R&D to develop something new. So again, the idea of AEM is new is not true anymore, because AEM is actually much more advanced, and we've been doing AEM from last 5 years, which does not use any PFAS-based membrane. Other question about PAM electrolyzers is, even though I hear companies saying that our PAM system has a much wider range with intermittent energy, going from 10% to 100%. But if you actually have really worked on a project, you will see that depressurization is a big problem. The sun goes down, and you have a membrane here, and you have compressed hydrogen on one side, on the cathode side. So that is a big problem. During the shutdown mode, which happens quite often when we couple PAM electrolyzers with intermittent energy, they need to be depressurized. So that means you're losing all that hydrogen for nothing. So that reduces the efficiency of the system, because we produce something and we are just letting it go because the membrane is going to rupture because of the pressure on the cathode side. We do not have this issue in AEM electrolyzer, which we will talk in the next slide. So one thing for sure, alkaline have issues, PEM has issues, and of course there are developments happening. I mean, it's been 100 years since we developed diesel engines, and they're still improving. So it's a continuous development, but because there's one misconception in people's mind, that AEM is not scalable, AEM is not durable, and I can tell you that this is not true. We have developed AEM system. The picture that you see is 40 kilowatt system that we shipped not more than 2 months ago now. So we have commercialized an AEM electrolyzer system that is affordable, lower capex, lower opex system, sustainable product, no PFAS, and no PGMs. We do not use any platinum or iridium into our system. Also, every single thing, being a Canadian company, every single thing we make or use in our system is locally sourced in Canada. So these all are the benefits of AEM electrolyzers. And because in our case, you will see that we have wet anode and wet cathode method. So the depressurization is not a problem in AEM electrolyzers, in Cipher Neutron's case, of course. So why AEM? AEM is highly efficient system, high ampacity. We're talking about 1.1 amps at 1.8 volts without using any platinum group metals. High pressure, we can go up to 30 bars. Again, we already talked about sustainability, short lead times, and a price reduction of up to 30% as compared to PEM electrolyzers. Again, this is more about the technology. So we have our own recipe. We actually, instead of using coating method, we actually grow our catalyst on the GDE or the substrate. We make our own ink recipe, and we have our own research and development facilities in Toronto, our own production facilities in Toronto to do AEM electrolyzers. This is more about the degradation curves. Again, one of the questions, as I mentioned earlier, one of the things is that AEM is not durable. But if you look at the degradation curves of AEM versus PEM electrolyzers, we have seen much better data in AEM electrolyzers than PEM electrolyzers or alkaline electrolyzers. So we have seen less than 3% degradation year-over-year basis, less than 4% degradation year-over-year basis, which is, and the European benchmark, at least a few months ago, was 9%. So we are much better, and we have already surpassed that number of European benchmark. So some of our research partners, we work very closely with University of Alberta, Western University in Canada, Animal Innovation. So these are our research partners. Some projects that we are doing, again, as I mentioned, AEM is scalable. We are building one of Canada's largest hydrogen hub, and in this, we are the stack provider, and that stack size is 250 kilowatt stack. So 4 stacks to make 1 megawatt. Again, this is short term. Of course, we're going to megawatt scale, but again, I believe in step-by-step approach. We had commercialized 10 kilowatt last year. This year we shipped 50 kilowatt, and then by end of this year we will launch 250 kilowatt electrolyzer stack. We're also doing a BlackRock project in province of Quebec, and this project is 50 megawatt phased approach, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So in this project, we're replacing natural gas in electric arc furnace using AEM electrolysers to, of course, produce hydrogen and replace natural gas. Then we have Molymet mining complex. We are supplying electrolysers to a mining company in Chile, which is using our electrolysers to produce hydrogen for metal reduction process. Also, interestingly, we are utilizing their rhenium, which is a good replacement for platinum, and we're using rhenium in our systems. So one-of-a-kind AEM electrolyzer that utilizes non-PGM based catalyst, but we also utilize rhenium into our systems to increase the current density and the efficiency of the system. This is our production line in Toronto. As I mentioned, we are doing projects right now. We have already commercialized last year, and we have a big production facility. We are not in Europe yet. We are in America, North America, South America, Asia. We ship to Taiwan, and now we are focusing to launch our product in Europe. This is more about the patents, sales projection. Even though this is more tech session, but again, I kind of included this slide to showcase that AEM is scalable. We have already done that. Of course, now I kind of see that other companies are trying to go towards 1 megawatt single stack. But again, in our case, we have done 50 and we're doing 250 by end of this year. So we will eventually go to 1 megawatt. But this is already happening. This is not just future things. This is already happening, the 50 kilowatt and 250 kilowatt stack sizes. This is more about our team. Again, I think this is important to see who is in the team. And I mean, all the directors we have, the technical leaders we have, they've been doing hydrogen from last 20, 30 years. So, and then moving on to, this is the last slide. So we have, I think, almost 2 minutes. If there's any questions for AEMs, or if you want to know more, you can visit us at our booth. We are under Canada Pavilion. So happy to answer your questions or anything related to scalability of AEM electrolysers and PFAS-free nature of AEM electrolysers. Thanks. Thank you.